Okay, so you may be wondering where on earth I am. And to be quite honest, I'm actually wondering myself. I kind of get the feeling I'm in the middle of nowhere. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to aim to get to the border of Saudi Arabia with the UAE. So come along, let's see how the day goes. Okay, good morning from the border of the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. What I've done today is I drove from the Danat Jebel Dana resort. I drove all the way west to the border of Saudi, and then I had to do a turnaround. So this is where I am. The entry to the United Arab Emirates from Saudi Arabia. Right, okay, so what I've done today is I've driven all the way from Ruwais, where I'm staying at the Danat Jebel Dana resort, and I drove down to the Saudi UAE border. Now, quite honestly, there's actually not that much to see. What I'll do is I'll turn the camera around and then you can see a little bit of the road that I've taken. I went past the nuclear plant, which looks fairly impressive. But otherwise, all you can really see, other than hearing my GPS, which is telling me where to go, is a whole bunch of power stations, electrical overhead cables, things like that. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around and you can have a quick look at the road that I'm taking. But quite honestly, there's actually not that much to see. Alright, this is the road that I've been driving. I'm now heading back from the Saudi UAE border down towards Ruwais. I think I'm about 40 kilometers to go. Now there is some beautiful desert scenery out here. It's very hot. At the moment it's about 40 degrees Celsius. I've got no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. But yeah, it's very hot. That's the bottom line. So this is obviously the main truck road between the UAE and Saudi, as all the trucks I think are heading back towards Abu Dhabi. Now if you look over in the distance you can see the power lines that I was talking about earlier. Now you can't actually drive off into the desert because it's all blocked, including the median. So you can't actually cross over into the middle of the road and then do a U-turn. So about 10 meters off the side of the road on both sides there are fences all the way along which prevent you from going out further into the desert. Now I was hoping to do some geocaching along the route, placing 1 or 2 geocaches along in this area, but with me not being able to get down into the desert area, that's going to be a little bit difficult. So tomorrow I'm planning on going down towards the Murib Dune. That's some beautiful desert scenery down towards Liwa and the Casa Al Sarab Hotel. So that should be my plan for tomorrow. Anyway, that's just a quick summary of the road that I'm taking back towards Al Ruwais. And if I find anything more exciting to show you, stand by, I'll send it along. Okay, what I'm going to ask you to do is have a guess at the speed limit along this road. Okay, so pause the video, put your comments down below, and have a guess at what the speed limit is, either in kilometers or in miles along this road, and then I will show you. Okay, if you thought the speed limit in your country was impressive, have a look at this. 160 kilometers an hour, that's the speed limit. 100 miles an hour. I've had a couple of Nissan Patrols and white Mercedes zoom past me, leave me in the dirt, but yeah, I don't like to go so fast. I find it's a little bit risky. I'm normally at about 140. You never know at 160 what happens to your car if you have a blowout or something like that. Anyway, that's the UAE. Lovely and fast. I reckon the trucks that are going past me are going probably 110 or so. Wow, that was a nice long hot morning. 350 kilometers approximately, all the way down to the Saudi border with the UAE. And as you saw, I ended up in all sorts of strange places, but that's all part of the adventure. We're just arriving back to the hotel. The idea is now to have a quiet afternoon, have a bit of a snooze, and then head out down to the beach a bit later. Now there's a big rugby game on tonight. South Africa is playing the Lions in the final test, so I'll catch that later. Anyway, this is the Danat Jebel Dana Resort. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.